I'm Andrew Muller, driver of the number 35 SK Modified at Stafford Motor Speedway and the New London Waterford Speed Bowl, and you're watching the New York Sports Show.
Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show Modified Tour. I'm your host, Dominic Konowski. We are here for race 2 at the West Haven Speedway. This little quarter-of-a-mile track packs a lot of action. Now, it is very similar to the paperclip Martinsville Speedway, the short track used for the Wheeler Modified Tour and the NASCAR Cup Series, along with various other series. As we have pit stalls on both sides of the track, and this track overall is pretty hard to maneuver. You could see 3-wide action, though, here and there. Now, right now, you guys are getting views from the NYSS drone cam. As this is going to be a very interesting race. This is really going to play with strategy. We may see some live pit stops or pitting under caution. So it will really depend on the winner on if he will have the best strategy or not. As tires will come into effect, this track absolutely tears up the tires. Now on pole for today's race, making his debut, is Todd Cooper. He has his pole in his first ever race, so congratulations to him. As you're looking right now, Woody Paquette's number 88. He starts very deep in the field. And then, also, very big notable, Justin Bonsignor, last week's winner. He starts deep into the field along with Rob Summers, who came in the top 3 last race as well at the Riverview Raceway. Now, those two drivers starting around mid-pack. Both of them looked to make their way up. Summers, though, was the slowest in practice. Ended up doing, of course, better in qualifying. So, going back to the 3-wide, it is expected to see a pretty moderate 3-wide action. A lot of drivers being aggressive, and a lot of slower cars usually are starting up front, so it'll be interesting to see if they'll be shuffled back or if they can maintain their ground. Even though it's early in the season, we could see a very big shake-up in points. Now, overall, going into this race, since Bonsignor won, he's the points leader. As we see the starting lineup, Cooper is on pole next to Dave Sapienza for row 1. Now, Dave Sapienza having a great start of the season. Row 2, you have Kyle Ebersol and Timmy Salomito in the 66. Salomito having a great first race of the season. He looks to flecked off that here. And then we have Burt Myers and Dominic Konowski in the 57 Connecticut. Konowski having a DNF last race. And then here are 2 surprises. Walter Sutcliffe Jr. and Melissa Fifield starting very, very high today in the grid. It'll be interesting to see how they do for this race. Then you have Anthony Nocella and Justin Bonsignor. Last week's winner, he looks to go back-to-back. And now you have Rob Summers and Tommy Baldwin racing entries of the 7NY of John McKennedy. Next row, you have Craig Lutz and Matt Swanson in the Bowler Racing Machine number 3. After them, you have Eric Goodale and Ron Silk. Next up, starting in last place, is Woody Paquette. Now here we go. Green flag is out. Cooper leads us. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing here at West Haven, boys and girls, as the field leads us into turn 1. Sapienza with the lead. Cooper, though, retains as he's getting a very good push from Kyle Ebersol, as we already have a lot of 3-wide action. As Todd Cooper will lead his first ever career lap in the first lap of today's race. Sapienza being pushed by Konowski. The top 4 drivers very, very close. Sapienza hit the wall. He's falling back. Can he stay inside the top 5? That's going to be interesting. Even more 3-wide racing. As Cooper, he got shuffled out. Ebersol now, he will lead that lap. Timmy Salomito, he has to brake hard. Konowski in second. Salomito looking to change things. As the field has spread out a little bit more, Salomito falling behind. He's in 3rd place. Episode leads that lap, and Konowski gets shuffled out. No Sella involved in it. Lutz in. And then Cooper, he runs into the back of Konowski and blows his engine. It looks like a radiator. But oh boy, what a crash that was. Now, overall, it does, yes, Anthony Nocella, he's able to drive away. Let's see who else could do the same, as Konowski is definitely out of this race. Very hard hit by him. Then Todd Cooper, his debut comes to a very quick end. Showed that he had speed, though, led a few laps. And like I said, he had the pole, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll be back. And Anthony Nocella, he is on pit road, so hopefully he could get started. Now, I just want to know, we had Walter Sutcliffe Jr. on pit road. He lost a lap, but now he's going to be the lucky dog, so he gets that lap back, as we have 3 cars out of the race. Melissa Fifield having engine trouble, so she will be credited with a last place finish, as he was actually pulling onto pit road right as that crash happened. Craig Lutz also on pit road, so out of the 4 cars involved, 2 will be able to go on. But Lutz, though, with a lot of damage. Now, we are going to ride on with Kyle Ebersol on this restart. We only have a few laps to go, so there's going to be a lot of intense racing, folks. This is going to be a good one. As here we go, green flag's back out. Ebersol leads us into turns 1 and 2. As Timmy Salamito right behind him. Lutz using the low lane as he goes into turns 3 and 4 now. Back on the front straightaway. And here we go, Woody Paquette. Where did he come from? He started in last place. He's in the top 3. He's battling. Woody Paquette leads us on the final lap, presented by the West Haven Veterans Museum and Learning Center. Can Woody Paquette win from last to fourth? Paquette drives 2 forward, 3 wide. Who's going to win this? It's Kyle Ebersol. After a dramatic final lap, Kyle Ebersol coming out with the win. Wow, a photo finish 100%. Kyle Ebersol getting the win. And what a final few laps that was. Woody Paquette started in last place. He's going to finish 3rd as Timmy Salamito finishes 2nd. Another top 5 for him, as he is off to a very hot start of the season. Woody Paquette, I can't imagine what he must feel like right now. Just drove it 2 in, locked up the brakes, ended up having some 3-wide action into the final corner. And Dave Sapienza didn't really talk about him after he hit the wall. Was able to get a very good finish, though, after that, of course. A 4th place finish for him. And then Juan Silk had a horrible force race, was involved in a wreck. He was able to race clean and stay clean. He finishes in the top 5. As what a good drive by him. He's going to be on a limited schedule. And then last week's winner, Justin Bonsignor, he definitely gained a few spots. That 51 car, though, did not really have the best amount of speed. And then John McKennedy having about an average race for him. And then you have Air Goodale in the 58, as I don't know what that was, folks. Some board got in the way. But overall, Air Goodale having a pretty good season. And Bort Myers, now him and Woody Paquette are actually going to switch wides in a way. Bort Myers running on a limited schedule. Paquette going to be in the 1, though, most of the season instead of the 88. Behind him, you have Rob Summers in the 64 Rhode Island Machine. Not the best race for him. He tapped the wall a few times. Reported he had a vibration. This is definitely a race that he would want to forget and put it behind him as we head to Stafford Speedway for the Spring Sizzler. Matt Swanson, able to stay out of trouble today, just did not have the speed, though, in that bowler of blue number 3. Behind him, Walter Sutcliffe Jr., he went nothing but backwards today. Able to finish, though, on the lead lap after going a lap down on a green flag pit stop. And I gotta say, Anthony Nocella and Craig Lutz, two good finishes. For guys involved in that wreck, they had 2 great finishes. But when you think of it, though, everyone behind them ended up being out of the way. So was it really great? Was it not? I don't know. But the fact that they were able to power on is just truly amazing. And here you are. Your 3 drivers out. Melissa Fifield coming in last place. Konowski showed so much speed. And then Todd Cooper, just a heartbreak for him. He could have won his first race in his first start. As we take a look at your point standings after 2 races. Timmy Solomito has the lead over Bonsignor by just a few points. 4 points, in fact, folks. This is going to be a very interesting season, as Todd Cooper, of course, in last place. We'll see you guys next week at